Good morning, good evening, good night. As I always say, wherever you're watching your podcast from, wherever you're listening from, we know we have different time zones across the world. And we know that there are persons listening to us from as far as Australia, South Africa. So we know the time difference there. I'm reaching out to you from Can Youth Exploration, your topic in the podcast from the Bronx now, but we usually reach out to you from Marymore in Florida. This is Can Youth Exploration, your topic in the podcast, and I am Dr. Ken Youth White. Today we'll be talking about a very important topic, and we have a very important person, someone who is an expert on the topic, to talk to us about the topic. And we will be talking about this emotional hunger thing and how to overcome it, right? The stress that it actually generates. And Tricia Nelson, she's an expert as it relates to this. And those of us who get stressed at times will maybe eat a lot, see the food, and we just eat because it helps us to relax. We believe that is. Tricia will tell us more about that. But I suspect that is the whole concept of emotional eating. And Tricia had experienced that, and she overcame basically, and would like to tell us more about it and what we can do if we feel stressed and decide to just eat and put on this weight and become 200 pounds, especially this time. This is December the 23rd, 2021. This time of the year, we might want to eat a lot, especially if we're having challenges, the stress of the holidays. Let's let Tricia in and hear what she has to say about this. Tricia, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. You heard me, right? But
we're all doing too much, and we can't keep doing as much without expecting to eat as much. We're eating because we're not slowing down. We're not catching our breath. We've got too much on our plate, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that causes emotional eating. Like when we're stressed out, we're on the run. We're eating fast foods. We're eating too quickly. We're skipping meals, and then we pay for it later with a late night binge. It's like we have to change.
Yeah.
It's not going to just happen.
We have to change. And we have to put out an effort to change. We have to be committed to that change.
Yeah, but it's not committed. Here's the thing. People who have dieted chronically are like, I can't do another diet because they're tired of being discouraged. Diets don't work. So if you've failed at dieting, don't diet anymore. I don't diet, and I don't teach dieting. I teach how to deal with our emotions, how to deal with our stress, how to start saying no and not doing as much. We're human beings, not human doings.
I like that. I like that. And I will remember that because I'm a sort of a go-getter sort of person. So I will remember.
Yeah. I'm guilty of it too. But, and especially, as emotional eaters, we tend to seek validation from outside of us.
Yeah.
And so we're people pleasers. We want everybody to love us. We want people to tell us how wonderful we are. Well, that comes at a price because we can't keep trying to be all things to all people without paying for it on our waistline.
Definitely. Hey, the 7 steps, those simple steps that will help us to get rid of emotional eating. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, super important, first of all, to get centered. And so I teach getting a morning routine, a morning centeredness routine, where you do meditation, yoga, reading spiritual literature, journaling, whatever helps you feel like get calm and quiet.
Right.
I call it putting money in your spiritual bank account.
I love that.
Okay, that you can take withdrawals on later. But if you just start your day on Instagram, and TV, you're not putting money in your spiritual bank account. You're going to be on, you're going to have a deficit later on when you're trying to take withdrawals. There's no money.
I want you to remember, we have a lot of social media people around, and you cannot say that to them. They will get up, they will pray, but social media is a must. When Instagram went down a couple months ago, you know how stressed those persons are. They
But Instagram's okay, but you have to start with you gotta go within first.
Right.
Instagram's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to feed your soul.
Right.
We got to think about how we can feed our soul, because it's not food we're really hungry for.
Okay.
We're hungry for connection. We're hungry for, spiritual connection. So we have to make some investments along those lines.
Yeah.
We have to get still and quiet and connected. Slow down, calm down, start connecting to ourselves so we can go within when we're stressed instead of without.
What's the second step? That was one.
I would say clean eating is one of the steps. Clean eating is all about, the only thing I don't teach nutrition because I find that people aren't stupid and they know that, salads are probably a better choice than pizza.
Right.
So the only thing around food that I recommend, which makes a huge difference, is 3-meal magic, which is eating 3 meals with nothing in between. Okay. And this is mostly so that you can start feeling your feelings in between the meals. If we're snacking all day, we're numbed out. We're numb. We don't know what our feelings are. And so you can't deal with them if you can't feel them. And so the 3-meal magic plan, first of all, ensures that you're not skipping meals, because if you skip meals, it's going to backfire on you.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't skip meals. 3 meals, healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, healthy dinner, close down the kitchen, no snacking.
That 3-meal concept, though, that's number 2. Remember where you're at. That 3-meal concept. You have to train your body for that. Your body has to be trained for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But you can even, if somebody's in intermittent fasting, you can still put 12 hours between your dinner and your breakfast.
Okay.
But make sure you feed yourself. We wouldn't feed our kids 2 meals and say, you got to lose some weight, so just starve for 16 hours. You wouldn't do that. You feed your kid 3 meals because it's going to be balanced and it's going to be good for them and they're going to have a steady flow of energy.
Right.
So that's how we should treat ourselves as adults. 3 meals, no snacking. The snacky foods are the ones that are carbs and sugar, caffeine and those things. Starbucks. I mean, those are the things in between meals that those calories add up.
Yeah. You're listening to Ken Youth's Exploration, your topic in the podcast. I'm Dr. Ken Youth White, sitting in with Tricia Nelson. She's talking to us about 7 simple steps to get rid of emotional eating. Go ahead.
Yeah. So some other things that are really important, connection and community. It's hard to change your eating on your own. If you have a habit of emotional eating, and there's a quiz on my website, by the way, if people are like, I'm not an emotional eater, take my quiz. I have a quiz on my website. My website is healyourhunger.com. Take the free quiz and find out. You'll get a personalized score when you take that quiz, and you'll find out where you are on the spectrum, because I think we're all emotional eaters to some degree. I think we're hardwired to have a connection with food.
I will take it.
Yeah, so take the quiz, you'll get a personalized score, and then and if you're on the higher end of the quiz, you might even be a food addict. Okay, so that's where I was. I would do big binges, big, amounts of calories. It could go on for weeks. I could gain 20 pounds in just a couple weeks. Wow. I mean, yeah, it was really bad. So everybody's somewhere on that spectrum, but take the quiz, find out where you're on the spectrum. But if you're the higher you are on the spectrum, the more likely you're going to need support to stop. Okay. Some people can just do it right about face and stop, but that wasn't my experience. I needed community, and I do my programs all in groups so that we can support each other and give each other love and support and encouragement, because again, we're not really hungry for food. We are hungry for connection.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking, I have people all around the globe who work with me because I do everything on Zoom. Zoom and an online portal and Facebook, and it enables us to connect with one another. But when you're looking through the screen, thank God we're in our digital age now. We can see each other, feel each other's hearts, and support each other. And that is soul filling. That fills us up. That's what we're really hungry for, is that connection.
Yeah.
Connection, community is vital. So important. And there are deeper causes. So I go into that through my program as well.
Right. And we're going to be having your links on the description, so that persons listening on their favorite podcast platform and viewing can just go on it and click and get to your program and try to contact you through those links. But you're at the fourth one now, right? But let me ask you this. You talk about community and connection, or connection and community, vice versa. So basically you're saying there are times when we are in the social settings where there's no food, but we're talking. That hunger is released. It's just like with that feeling that
Yes. Yeah, because I think we're all starving for love and connection.
Yeah.
And we feed ourselves with food because we don't know how to satisfy ourselves at a deeper level. And the food is right there. It's quick, it's easy, it's satisfying momentarily. But we need to look within and say, what am I really hungry for?
Yeah.
What's lacking in my life? Where is there love lacking? Where is there connection? There are hormones released in our body called oxytocin.
Right.
When we connect, when we just pick up the phone and talk to a friend, it's like it's healing us. That's why my programs are in groups, because when we are on Zoom looking at each other, oh my God, we're just like feeding our soul. God didn't mean for us to be islands. We need each other.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Interesting. So you're the fourth one now, right, Tricia? You're counting with me?
Yeah, sure. So
right.
Another one is communication.
Right.
Because, emotional eaters tend to eat their words.
Yeah.
So instead of saying how we really feel, we stuff it. Okay. We don't express ourselves. We don't say how we really feel. Yeah. And so that's a problem. And so we're eating our words. And part of that is we're afraid to speak up because we're afraid we won't be liked. Yeah. We're afraid someone will be mad at us. And when we're so outward focused on people's approval, it makes us stay quiet or at least not be authentic.
Yeah.
And so we have to learn how to communicate our feelings. And I literally teach my clients how to speak up because we've never done it. So there's a method to it. Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean.
But again, even if we don't say it mean, we might offend the individual that we are saying it to. So we therefore eat it, so to speak. Eat our words, eat our feelings, because I might say it, not assertively, but it will offend the person because the person will hear that is my feeling.
It is. We're afraid of that. But the thing is, if we say how we feel and we own it and we don't blame other people for our feelings, then however they react is their problem. We don't have to take that on. As emotional eaters, we tend to be a little codependent. So we tend to take on other people's feelings. And then that's why we try to control their feelings by not speaking up ourselves. But that's not good. It's not healthy.
But Tricia, in Jamaica, we say 6 are 1 half dozen of the other. 6 is 1 half dozen, same 6.
Right.
But I am thinking that if I eat my words, well, not eating my words, just say it as I feel, and say it nicely. If I lose a friend, I'm going to be emotionally eaten because I lose a friend.
But why would you lose a friend if you were just saying your feelings?
Because I would want to think, Tricia, that sometimes you would tell an individual your feelings, but it still offends them.
But if you own your feelings and say how you really feel, it doesn't have to be anything about the other person. They're my feelings.
Okay.
It's if you don't blame, if you're not mean, if you're not finger pointing, you're just saying this is how I feel. and you're with somebody who is a friend, I mean, wouldn't you want to know how your friend feels?
Of course.
Of course. So it's just breaking the ice and having honest communication.
Right. I like that. Not eating your feelings, but saying it. Hold your feelings. Saying it to whosoever. It is cool.
Yeah, it's so healthy for relationships.
So you're the fourth one. But all of this is saying that, hey, if we do this, we not want to take up the fast food. We not want to even think much about eating out of terms, so to speak, going back to your feet.
It's a whole, it makes all the difference. It's a whole new way of living. So much more peaceful, so much healthier.
Yeah, cool. All right, the fifth one, that is.
Consciousness. When you start to wake up to your feelings, you grow in consciousness. And this is important. We have to wake up. People are like, I just like food. I don't have emotions. Well, you don't have them because you're eating through them, So we have to get hip to what's really going on inside. We have to take that journey into our consciousness and how we're really feeling. That's why the journaling, writing about our feelings, expressive writing is so important. And so, that makes a huge difference. So we have to grow in our consciousness. We have to grow in spiritual consciousness. Yeah. Emotional eaters tend to be worriers. We worry and fret about things. And so we have to start making a spiritual connection where we know that there's a higher order in our world, like that there's a higher power that's got us. It's not all up to us. We don't have to make things happen, right? We can have some faith that God's in charge.
I smiled just now, Tricia, because I was going to say to you that the food industry will be upset with you, right? As you as you say this, because people will be eating less if they actually.
Yeah, it's true. But we'd have a whole lot less sickness, a whole lot less death, a whole lot less cancer.
It's important, that too. So the sixth one.
Let's call it the sixth one. I would say is causes. So I go deeper in my work with causes, and there are underlying causes like resentment, causes like disconnection, spiritual disconnection, causes like untrue beliefs, old wounds, compromises that we're making. So I have several different causes. The source of the problem, I go deeper on that. And the seventh is courage. It takes courage to look at yourself. It takes courage to take that deeper emotional journey. It takes courage to say, maybe it's not just about food.
Let me push this in a bit. Courage to look at yourself.
Yeah.
Look at yourself, meaning if we become fatter, so to speak, put on some more weight, or look at yourself in terms of your lifestyle.
Yeah. It takes courage to make changes.
Right,
it takes courage to start a meditation practice. Nobody wants to sit down and shut up. Yeah, but we have to do it. Nobody wants to start, talking about their feelings. Like, that's not comfortable. It takes courage to do something that's uncomfortable and unfamiliar.
Wow. Yeah, I know, right? And it's going to take a lot of courage to work with this 7 simple steps, but it's doable, because Tricia Nelson said to us on Can Youth Exploration that it's doable. These 7 steps are doable, and Tricia, I just want you, without explaining them, you have done that, just name them. Name those 7 steps that we need to use to get rid of emotional eating.
Yeah. So you want all the steps?
Yeah, just list them. Yeah.
Okay. So from the top.
Yeah.
The 7 steps are connection and community.
Yeah.
Centeredness, clean eating. They all start with C, by the way.
Okay.
Communication, consciousness, causes, and courage.
Right. And those are the 7 steps that Tricia is saying to us. will help us to get rid of emotional eating. You can go back and listen to this, at any time, and it will remind you. This episode will remind you. Share, subscribe, share with your friends, right? And comment, leave a comment, and rate as well. Tricia, continue to follow you and follow your stuff. All right, you take care now, Tricia. Goodbye.
Thanks so much. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Bye bye. That was Tricia Nelson. You heard her. You know that many people. Let me not say most of us, right? But we tend to eat emotionally when we don't need to eat. It's a matter of hunger? Perhaps not. It's just like, hey, I'm getting emotional. I'm stressed, so let's eat. So Tricia gave us 7 steps to deal with that, and it means that you can find her or the information on our podcast and see how best you can deal with this sort of emotional eating habit that you have, and you may have, a friend may have. Share this episode with a friend who you think need to understand how to control eating. She talked about the fact that sometimes it's not about we being hungry, but we have some other needs that we want to fulfill, especially that one about communication and togetherness, friendship. And she was saying that if you are in a social setting, you are more likely not to be hungry, and therefore we really need to have some other needs and not necessarily the need for food. So visit her website. It's there in the description of this episode, and see what you can do to lose that weight, right? And let us get healthier and look better. Thanks for listening. Ken Youth Exploration, your topic in a podcast. I'm Dr. Ken Youth White. Goodbye.
Wow.